Hey yo, what is happening guys? Today I'm just going to be talking about this Disney live adaptation about Lilo and Stitch, because Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite animated movies of all time, definitely in my top 5. And let's just read this article. So it looks like Lilo and Stitch will be receiving a live action CG hybrid remake along the lines of the previously released Disney remakes like The Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. The Hollywood Reporter broke the news saying Dan Lin and Jonathan Erich, the producers working on the live action remake of Aladdin, will be producing the film as well. Ryan Halfrin is also set to co-produce. Now that is really good stuff to hear and good stuff to actually think about, because these people are working on the Aladdin stuff, so it shows that they are consistently working, they're not taking breaks from development. So possibly this movie may come straight after the Aladdin movie. I'm sure that it'll come after the Disney Dumbo remake as well as the Mulan live action, and I'm really happy that Disney is doing this, but at the same time I can see why people are a little bit skeptical about it, because I did love the animation. It was so beautiful when it came out, and it's still great up till this day. And well, let's just continue reading this article. So it says Mike Van Ways has been brought on to write the remake script, as is also set to write the upcoming Conjuring spin-off of The Crooked Man. The 2002 original was written and directed by Dean DeBios, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, and Chris Sanders. THR noted that it is currently unknown if the remake will be in theaters release or if it's intended for Disney's streaming service coming in 2019. No information on casting or the film's release date has been announced, so this is not surprising me because it was just announced a few hours ago. I believe I was basically sleeping, but I'm not expecting like they would show too much of stuff for now. I mean, they still have so many books, live action stuff to do, and instead of this. So I'm not surprised that there's not that much information about it. I'm fine with waiting for this information, and there's a lot of stuff that Disney has on its plate, not only with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also with their remakes of the actual Disney classic films with the animation, such as the Mulan, as well as Dumbo, as well as Aladdin, and now they have this. So there's a lot of stuff, and their streaming service is coming along nicely, most likely. So I'm not going to be surprised if we don't get that much news soon. However, I would like some news. I doubt it'll come that soon. This coming from IGN, of course. In our review of the DVD release for the original Lilo and Stitch, we called the film great, saying strays a bit from the cut and dry Disney formula and infuses itself with some very clever and demented humor. Previously released live action remakes of the animated Disney classics have been generally well received, including The Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. The upcoming live action remakes that will come before Lilo and Stitch include Dumbo, The Lion King, and Mulan. Now, this is very interesting because I actually thought that Aladdin would be before this, because I feel that Aladdin is way more ahead in development than the Lilo and Stitch live action. The reason why I say this Lilo and Stitch live action could take a while is because, again, it was just announced. These movies, they have been announced for some time now, such as Dumbo has been, it did release a trailer. The Lion King, it was announced for Beyonce also being in one of the main roles. Mulan, yeah, it has gotten some news and information about it, but this Disney Aladdin one, it has gotten much more news than the Lilo and Stitch one. But like I said, the Lilo and Stitch is very early on, I'm presuming, so I do believe that the Aladdin will come before the Lilo and Stitch adaptation, and I think it'll most likely come after Mulan, which is a pretty good, safe bet. But there's so many other stuff that are going to be coming along nicely, so we will see what actually happens. But for now, I just want to talk about what I think about this live action and what do I think will happen. Do I think it'll be good? Do I think it'll be bad? So Lilo and Stitch is a really important movie for me, as well as the series itself. It did have that Lilo and Stitch sequel, I guess you could say, where Stitch went to Japan, but I didn't actually follow that too much. But Lilo and Stitch is very important to me. I remember every time after I finished my primary school days, I would come home and watch the series. I still remember the few times when I was on a flight on holiday for another country. I actually watched the Lilo and Stitch movie on the plane because, you know, it's fun. It's a great movie. I really do enjoy Lilo and Stitch. It's a fun series. I really do enjoy Stitch himself, and I really hope that this live action captures the character well. I know that they will be using CGI, but I'm really afraid that it'll be too noticeable. There is the aspect such as the cyborg who used so much CGI, it was so noticeable in Justice League, so there's that problem. But I feel that if they use the right amount of CGI, not too much yet at the same time, if they try to use as minimum CGI as they can, it would be pretty cool. But I would definitely understand. I mean, this is an alien creature, and I'm not only talking about Stitch himself, I'm also talking about Jumba and Klee as well as the rest of the aliens, and I really want to see how they look. It'll be very interesting to see how they look in the live action. I want to see Lilo and also Nani. She seems to be a very easy playable character for a lot of people to actually play. You just need the right actress. Also Bubbles, I really want to see him, how he will look and how he will act. It'll be very interesting to see how it all goes together, and I really do think it'll go together quite well, because then again, if you look at all the characters' interactions within the animated movie as well as the series, it was awesome. But the live action is going to be a little bit different, I guess. I mean, I'm more or less sure that they will be casting very soon. Now, one thing I really am worried about this movie is not the casting, but it's actually how the voice acting for the characters will form out. Like Stitch himself, you don't need to know that much English words. You just need to know a lot of gibberish, which is pretty easy stuff to just decipher. But you see, the question is, who will have the right voice for Stitch? Because Stitch, I want to see him in live action. I think that there's so many possibilities of how he would look in live action. There could be cute, he could be scary, we all don't know. But I think that Stitch's voice is going to bring out the character a lot. And Lilo, I believe that they should hire a child actress, of course a child actress, but someone who could act the role itself. Like, she could act like it is an actual pet. Maybe it's something like that. That would give an awesome feel to it. It'll feel like an actual Lilo and Stitch movie, because in the animation, live action will not be as much of animation, because the animation was really good because you could feel the sense of friendship within Lilo and Stitch. However, if the live action, if I don't feel that vibe, it's not going to be Lilo and Stitch. It's just going to be a girl and alien dog. That's basically it. But I do really want to see Stitch. I do believe this is how Stitch may look. I'm not too sure. I just found this somewhere on the internet. I don't think that this is how Stitch will look, but it is the closest thing to how the possibility of Stitch may look. They could obviously do so much more with this character model, but I do believe that this should be given as an idea to how Stitch may look. So I just want to know, like, do you guys think that this live adaptation is going to be good, bad? Let me know in the comment section down below. But one thing I am very interested in is that they said remake. So we know that remakes are not going to follow the original story plot. You can just look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. They said it's not going to follow the story plot. And also within some Disney movies, they did not follow the plot entirely, I guess, but you could still make out that it was very close to the actual story. Now with this, I do believe that it'll be very close to the story, but that's another question, like how will they adapt it? Because I feel that if they adapt it very close to the original story, then they should take some risks and, you know, just try out some different stuff, because there's no means that a movie is going to be perfect. There is very rarely a perfect movie, but to see if they will take a risk and use like different types of aspects to make the movie feel new, I really want to see that. But also one thing I am really excited for about the live action is the real life locations that they will use for the movie, which is really cool because it's filmed in Hawaii, and it would be really cool to see actual Hawaiian destinations because I never go to Hawaii. I would see videos online, but you know, I'm just too lazy to do it, and I'm just basically too lazy to do that. But to see real life Disney places will be just awesome to see it, especially considering the fact that I want to see how Stitch reacts when he sees water in live action, and you know, all of that good stuff. Also the hula dancing, I really want to see some cultural aspects within Hawaii with the hula dance. I'm really excited about that, and that's one huge aspect I want to see. And if they are going to be going very close to the movie, the original, I want to see how they will do their underwater stuff, like Lilo feeding that fish a peanut butter sandwich. If that fish will be able to hold a peanut butter sandwich, and I feel for a peanut butter sandwich now, but that's fine. That's fine. But I really I really want to see how Stitch actually evolves as well when his four hands come out. But you know, let's just hope it's not a scary looking Stitch like this. And however guys, that is it for this video. Please leave a like, helps me a lot. Comment down in the comment section down below, what do you think of the live adaptation? Let me know in the comment section down below. Share with friends because sharing is caring. And most importantly, subscribe to become a fellow lightning bolt. Anyway guys, that is it for this video, and as always, this is the Lightning H8. Blaze out.